Yes, it's William here, and just want to welcome you to another installment of the Jewish bloggers. This blog is going to be Reassessing Israeli Settlements by Samara Greenberg from the Jewish Policy Center. I'm not in love with all the links that are in this blog, but I am going to post the blog itself, and you'll be able to follow some of the links, and some of the links I am going to actually post in the video. Now, we are brought to you by Berserk Mobile. As you can see here, Berserk Mobile, awesome new cell phone with technology that is really something out of the ordinary. So it's a global service, a global cell phone service, Berserk Mobile, and thank you very much for your support, Berserk. Okay, with that being said, Reassessing Israeli Settlements by Samara Greenberg, JewishPolicyCenter.org. On June 4th, 2009, President Barack Obama delivered his much-anticipated speech to the Muslim world from Cairo, Egypt. Mr. Obama asserted, and this link I'm including down below the video, that he will pursue the creation of a Palestinian state and that the Israeli settlement growth must be stopped because it is illegitimate. The previous week, another Jewish advocate and lover in the presidential administration, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, stated that he, Obama, wants to see a stop to settlements, not some settlements, not outposts, not natural growth. Close down settlement, any expansion, period, close, done. Verstehen. Okay. The Palestinians cite settlements as most significant obstacle to peace. Most of the Arab world supports the narrative. Now it appears the current U.S. administration does too. However, the administration may be ignoring key aspects of the debate and in the process placing undue stress on Israel, the U.S.'s Middle East ally that is committed to peace with its neighbors. Settlements in context. Settlement activity began after Israel's victory in the 1967 war, the Six-Day War. The preemptive and defensive battle where the Israeli military surprised even its own top brass by gaining control over the West Bank. Now I'm going to start calling the West Bank Judea and Samaria. That's its legitimate name. This blog talks about the West Bank a lot, and I do not like that. So, Judea and Samaria. Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. During the initial settlement period between 1967 and 1977, the territories were viewed as bargaining chips, and Israel could in the future trade this land for recognition and peace. Jerusalem authorized limited settlement activity based upon national security. According to the Alon Plan, this plan created by Israeli Defense Minister Yigdal Alon in 1967 spawned a string of settlements in strategic areas along the Jordan Valley to create a line of protection around the country's vulnerable midsection. Indeed, many settlements began as military stations located in the strategic but uninhabited areas. In 1977, Israel's Likud party rose to power, and under the auspices of Ariel Sharon, the grandfathers of the settlements, the settlement projects skyrocketed. Prior to 1977, 4,500 Jews lived in 36 settlements, 31 in Judea and Samaria, 5 in the Gaza Strip. By 1981, the Judea and Samarian settlers nearly quadrupled to over 16,000. With the party's second victory in 1981, the settlement project became a state-sponsored venture involving subsidies to encourage growth. By 1990, the Judea and Samarian population reached over 78,000. Now, according to the CIA World Factbook, I'm going to, of course, put the link in there. I'll name the link and I'll install the link below the video. Today, there are 187,000 settlers And I like to call them pioneers. So I'm gonna lose that word too. Out is West Bank, out is Judea, In with Judea and Samaria, out with settlers, and in with pioneers. And while the number indicates a significant expansion since 1967, Israeli pioneers comprised only a small area of Judea and Samaria. According to the Palestinian Monitor, now this is another link I'll put in, December 17, 2008, in the Palestinian Monitor, you'll look it up, you can click on the link, less than 3% of Judea and Samaria is dotted with pioneers. The Israeli military or industrial facilities. Moreover, the pioneers amount to less than 10% of Judea and Samaria population. The total population is 2,461,267, and this is again a CIA World Factbook. Follow the link. Settlements built, settlements destroyed. However, even if Israelis, I like to say Jews, constituted a more sizable percentage of Judea and Samaria population, the settlements are not an obstacle to peace. Indeed, Jewish leaders on both the left and the right have repeatedly illustrated their willingness to vacate settlements in exchange for peace. After the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt in 1979, Israel uprooted the pioneers in April of 1982 from the Sinai Peninsula. Now, this was a tragedy. It's not the blog. Total tragedy. And the Sinai Peninsula measured some 22,500 square miles in exchange for peace. The majority of the pioneers left without protest. Those who didn't were evacuated forcefully. There's a link in here you can follow. By the Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF. And I will tell the IDF soldiers, anytime you evacuate Jews, IDF soldiers, you're not doing the right thing. Call in sick that day. You got to call in sick. You got to not show up for work. Who cares what they do to you? God will defend you. God, when you meet God at some point in your life, after your life, you will understand that that was the right thing to do. To not listen to orders of the government pertaining to getting rid of your brothers and sisters in settlements. Okay, sorry for the diversion. But they were, evacuated forcefully by the IDF in accordance with then Minister of Defense Ariel Sharon's orders. Israel also relinquished the Alma oil field. Okay? We relinquished an oil field which was discovered and developed by Israel and would have made Israel an oil exporter. Dozens of early warning stations and military installations such as airfields and naval bases. The Sinai evacuation was not an isolated incident. In 2005, Israel again vacated settlements in what now Prime Minister Ariel Sharon called a unilateral security step of disengagement. Here's another link I'll let you follow. December 18th, 2003, Herzliya Conference. Unilateral security step of disengagement. Sharon dismantled all 21 settlements in the Gaza Strip and 4 in the West Bank, and the evacuation process, which lasted 5 days, uprooted approximately 8,500 civilians. Like to Sinai, evacuating the settlers was no easy task. In some towns, settlers protested. I'm going to give you a link there for the BBC. The evacuation process, also a link to the BBC, from rooftops. And, of course, the settlers protested by throwing paint, foam, and other liquids at the soldiers. Okay, I got to let the video cut off real quick here. I want to thank Berserk Mobile, and I'll have to, of course, do this video in segments. Thank you so much, Berserk, and thank you guys for listening. I'll be right back.